Okay, hi everybody. It is May 4th, 2014. Happy Dog Farm. A lot of jokes going around about May 4th. I'm not going to touch it. What's exciting is the trees are waking up, and I'm happy to show you that. I'm just watching with trepidation, but there they are, all saying, "Hey, fruit me." This is really kind of cool. Sorry for the wind noise. Trying a few different techniques here. One that I'm seeing isn't really so successful is the top and flop. I took the central leader, flopped it. Somebody else says, "Hey, I can do that," and it just joined in. So that will get a heading cut next winter. But you can see everyone's starting to break out. I really need to get out here and spray, or it may even be too late for some of these trees. I'll use the backpack so I can be very selective on what I hit. Redfield is standing tall and proud. And I know it's Redfield because I love those red blossom leaves. You know, they really speak. So, I'm optimistic here about, some production this year from these trees. Also, back in the day, at Vintage Virginia Apples, otherwise known as Albemarle cider, I went to a grafting workshop, and I made 3 trees. And what they are is in the book. I forget what they are. But right now, you can see that these trees are starting to come into their own. Now this looks like just a whip, but I might do a little bit of scoring on it to promote some more lateral growth. That's something I'm looking. By the way, if you Google scoring buds on the internet, you really just get a lot of stuff about marijuana. So you have to. I haven't figured out what you're supposed to search for. I may end up shooting a video and let people ridicule me for trying it. Here, a little bit of wake up. Children are starting to come out. This is all good. I took this one down quite a bit. Not entirely. And again, some life going on here. These will eventually get tree stakes. Sorry about the finger there. The other thing I did, here's some more Redfield. Early bloomer, which makes me a little nervous. We'll see how that works out. I may not do Redfield because early bloomers don't do too well in my orchard simply because of our late frosts. So you have that. What I have here in this row that you're looking up and underneath the mulch over there are 20 wine sap whips on G26. And I'm trying a little experiment. I've taken 10 of them and nipped them at 30 inches above ground level. Some people say 24 inches, some people say higher, some people say lower. Well, I like to have my second wire at 24 inches, my drip lines at 1 foot. So by doing them at 30 inches, I make sure that that new leader coming off the top is going to be above the wire. So, I mean, there was kind of a practical side to it. I also rubbed off or debudded a lot of the buds that were below the nip, leaving bud, of course, on top to lead the charge. I left untouched the other woods. Now, honestly, they're going to take a lot of work because I really don't like the way that they're not really feathered, they got laterals on them, but they're far too low. So these are going to get scored. As the whips develop, they're going to get scored to encourage the growth above the 2-foot wire. And I will eventually nip off the laterals below the 2-foot line. And that's what's going to happen. All of this is in prep for something momentous. I'm extremely anxious about it. But if the funding comes through, I'm targeting between 700 to 800 trees being added to the orchard. That's kind of a big deal for me. I'm going to do very high density, 3-foot spacing in the rows with 10 or 11 foot spacing on the rows. The 10 or 11 is the difference between 700 and 800 trees. And therein lies a significant marginal cost because of the infrastructure that has to go in to support the marginal 100 trees. Hey, whatever. Project management. It just really delights me, though, to see the buds coming out. To see trees that look pretty darn healthy, that look like they want to be with the program. And these trees are teaching me a new kind of patience. It takes a different kind of patience with trees than with people. And I can't use a pruning shear on people, although at times you want to. But here I'm learning that thanks to Steve Wood, who always seems to have a set of shears on his hip, so do I. I don't come down here without them. It just doesn't make sense. So to everyone, I wish you a good day. Let's see what the thermometer says. Had a low of 38, currently 48. Well, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but this week promises to be a little nicer.